What's going on, Wise Take Nation? The NBA playoffs are here, and me and your boy Cash and DFS are doing a late night NBA playoff pod to get you ready for this weekend's slate. NBA DFS playoffs is probably my absolute favorite DFS season. Just got done grinding out 82 games of scratches and coaches not playing guys minutes and injuries. And a lot of that stuff goes away when we get to playoff time. And, I am looking forward. Cash, you like the NBA playoffs for DFS?
Love it.
Love it. Hear the
Love
enthusiasm. I mean, no, but seriously, I've probably had my best NBA cashes during the playoffs the last 2 years. I've done well both NBA seasons in the first half and then struggled down the second half. And then the NBA playoffs have just been marvelous. So I'm really pumped
it's beautiful. There's no BS.
Yeah. And then, looking at the slates, they just both look so juicy to me. I'm fired up. I'm ready to roll. 3:00 tomorrow. Looking forward to diving in. But before we do, what's your prediction for the finals this year? Who do you think gets there?
I would say Houston. Oof, the East is close, but I can't bet against LeBron. He gets there every year, so I'll say him. But I do think there's a couple of teams that can beat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking at some of the odds, to win the championship or the East or the West. If Cleveland loses, who do you think would go?
Toronto.
Toronto? You think Toronto would get there?
Yeah.
And in the West, you said Houston. I agree. I think Golden State got kind of lucky getting San Antonio in the first round. They would have gotten OKC or New Orleans or Portland. I think it would have been much, much harder. Not that San Antonio is going to be easy, but I think they're one of the equally banged up, not full strength teams out there as well.
Yeah, if Curry comes back, then it's going to be good.
Yeah, it'll be good. If it's full strength Curry, then the Houston Golden State series could be real good. The only team out west that I think could surprise is OKC. I think that they are built for the playoffs, and they can go toe to toe with anyone. Their team is actually pretty solid defensively, and they match up pretty well with Houston and Golden State. And Houston they dealt with some injury towards the end of the year. They lost Luke Richard Maamute.
He's not coming back.
At least the first series and possibly the second, so that hurts. But all teams are dealing with some forms of injury. No one I don't think is bad as Boston, but they are not on this first slate. What we're gonna do, guys, is we'll break down each game for FanDuel and then DraftKings. We can, for those that play on either site, there's pricing is just different. A lot of the players may overlap, but just want to give you guys both. Anyone who plays on either site perspective for tomorrow, I'll probably be playing mostly on DraftKings. Smaller slates, I prefer it, but I took a look at FanDuel and I think there's just as much opportunity over there. So let's jump in. The first game, 3:00 tomorrow, is the Golden State Warriors taking on the San Antonio Spurs. I actually said that backwards. It's Spurs visiting the Warriors. I'll pull up the spreads in a second. Let me see if we got any injuries here. So obviously Curry's going to be out. Kawhi Leonard's going to be out, and Patrick McCaw is out for Golden State. Otherwise, pretty much full strength. What's your thoughts here?
This is one of my least favorite games of the day. But there is some plays I definitely like. There's some plays that are too cheap. Like we was going over it like right after baseball lock. There are some plays in here that I think is too cheap. I think KD is too expensive. Aldridge, I like to play him against Golden State, but I don't know if I'm going to get there.
Yeah. So like, let's talk from FanDuel right now. Okay.
10-2.
That's rough.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to get there, but I do like to play him against Golden State. But I could save money on Draymond, $3,000. That's a lot. Definitely a more balanced approach is definitely the better approach usually, but there are some guys that are way too cheap. Danny Green on FanDuel is 3.8. That is way too cheap. He will play, I would say, at least 25 minutes, at least minimum. And Tony Parker is min price. Both of those dudes I like a lot at their prices.
Yep. I feel the same way. It's my least favorite. I guess I'm glad we're getting it out of the way. But there are a few handful of guys that I'm really interested in, and like I think if this game wasn't first, this game would have like by far the least ownership. The fact that it's the first game and the way that they're split, like 3:00, 5:00, 7 and 9:00 or whatever it is, like that first game's gonna have a little bit more ownership. So
Then it should.
Yeah, exactly. So like I really like Klay Thompson. I watched him with my eyes the last few games of the year. He was getting hot shooting, and they seem to like make him more of a part of the offense at the end. Like where like in the middle of the season when Curry would miss, it'd just be like all Durant, and the rotations that Golden State runs is Cook with Durant. They all start, but then Draymond and Klay come off, and Durant and Cook kind of stay and keep going. And then Draymond and Klay start off like the end of the first quarter or the very beginning of the second. And, Draymond just racks up the assists in that scenario. And when Klay's hot shooting, like he can go off. And he's around, was he 6'5" on FanDuel?
6'5" on FanDuel, yeah.
Yeah, and he's cheaper on DraftKings, but I think he's got upside to go for 40, maybe even more. And, possibly San Antonio slows down Durant, and he's got to do the bulk of the scoring at home where he shoots better. I have a lot of interest there. And then you mentioned, what's his name? Tony Parker, min price. Like, this is basically what they've had him on the team for all year, was for the playoffs, a veteran, DeJounte Murray, the young kid, like they're going to bring in Tony Parker off the bench. I expect him to get between 20 and 30 minutes, depending how close the games are. And if he's doing well, he's not going to come off, especially down the stretch. If they're winning, he's going to be getting fouled towards the end. But, this is going to be vintage Tony Parker, and I think he can go 10x on his price as long as the game stays close. And that's like one of the bigger things for NBA playoffs is essentially like you got to predict game flow. Like what can mess up your projections, your lineups is a blowout, and that they'll happen in the playoffs. Like one team will win game 1 by 30, and then go on the road the next week and lose by 30 sometimes. So like you got to try and predict game flows. So if you think this game stays close, you got an 8-point spread. Golden State's favored, a 206 over under. And some of the others blow out. Like you could game stack this, and in that scenario, like Tony Parker is a must. I did have interest in Ginobili, but not on FanDuel. He's a little too expensive there at 4.4.
I was about to say, I don't think he's too expensive, but there's another play that's way better on FanDuel in another game at the same position.
Yeah.
At almost the same price, or it might be the same price, but
yeah, same price.
I do like Ginobili. I think that Ginobili has to play well for them to have a chance, and I could make the same case for the Magician.
Parker, right? For the Magician.
Yeah, like he has to have a good game for them to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. For them to win this, that he has to have the best series of his life for San Antonio to pull this upset off.
Yep.
But
no, I agree.
Ginobili, I like him, but I can't get to him because you know who it is. Like
I know. We're gonna talk about it very soon. And in Ginobili, to me, it's like the same story as Parker, and Parker is just 900 cheaper, and the point guard who controls the ball. But either one of these guys could go for 30 if they get hot and the game stays close. But on DraftKings, Ginobili's like around 3.8. We'll check in a sec, and I'll just play him there where he's cheaper. But Danny Green is interesting at 3.8 on FanDuel because he's gonna start, and like he's the guy I think will lose minutes to Parker and Ginobili, but if he gets hot, he can score points pretty quick, shooting the three, getting blocks. He's always gotten blocks and steals, and they're probably going to want him out there for defense. So he's interesting at that cheaper price. I think that's the cheapest we've seen him all season. And then the last thing on San Antonio, no, second to last, like at small forward, Rudy Gay and Kyle Anderson. That's the one spot I don't know what to do. Like Kyle Anderson's going to be the starter, but we don't know how many minutes he's going to get. He could get a ton of minutes and, crush his price, or he could cede minutes to Rudy Gay and Rudy Gay crush his price. But, it could be a situation where they both just kind of get 20 to 25 minutes and neither do well. So I'm probably not going to have a ton of them, but I will have some Pau Gasol. 5K on FanDuel, cheaper on DraftKings. There's not a ton of great centers on this slate. And he's, another veteran game changer, just like Tony Parker and Ginobili that, could easily go 6-7x on his price. So I think there's opportunity in San Antonio. And then on
because I haven't played basketball in a while, like a couple weeks. I only did it when I did the shows. He didn't move back into the starting lineup, right?
He did start most games actually down the stretch. I know he didn't start the last game, but that was kind of like a throwaway.
So he was like, because I see the minutes. Yeah, he only played 14, 19, 25, 29. So he probably started those 25 and 29 games.
Yeah. It was like.
I mean, he should start.
I think he will. I think he will. I think the starting lineup's going to be DeJounte Murray, Patty Mills.
No, Danny Green.
So you think Mills goes to the bench? Because Mills started all the way, but you might be right. So maybe
Danny Green did move into the starting lineup at the very end, right? Or was that just the last game?
The last game he did. Let me see the second to
last game.
Let me check the second to last.
It said for the Kings he started. He only played 15 minutes though, but
yeah, that was the second to last game. That one was a little bit close. The game before that, they played Portland. Let's see who started that one.
Wouldn't you think Pop doesn't want to have Mills on Klay Thompson, does he?
No. But maybe DeJounte Murray goes there. But I agree. I agree with you. I think Mills should come off the bench. But so like this third to last game against Portland, one that both teams were trying to win, they went with Murray, Mills, Anderson, LMA, and Gasol. And that's the projected starting lineup right now on, RotoWire. It doesn't mean anything. Actually, no, RotoWire is projecting Murray, Mills, Green, Anderson, and LMA with no Gasol. So, I think Gasol, if he's starting, I like it. If he's not as much, right?
Yeah. And
then on the Golden State side, I agree. Kevin Durant is probably one of my bigger fades of this slate. I think he's too expensive. A slowdown team like San Antonio that plays good D. I'll be focusing more on Thompson, who I really like, and Draymond Green. And if this game was any but the first, Klay Thompson would be like 4% owned on this slate. I think
those are my two favorites. And Iguodala, maybe.
Yeah, on FanDuel, 4K. He was a MVP for these guys 2 years ago in the finals. Like, he's another kind of vet that'll get more. I know, that was such a joke.
LeBron just dominated him. But, yeah, okay. The other one that I kind of have interest in is David West, because I know he's going to play close to 20 minutes probably, 15 to 20 minutes, and he's mid-price, and he runs a lot of the second team. So that's okay. There's just some other plays that I think are better.
Yep.
But he is very safe. Like, I don't think he gets you less than value.
Yeah, I agree. And, like, if he does happen to get more minutes, like Draymond fouls out, like anything, like he could go off. But I think, like 80% of the time he's going to go for 18 to 25. But if something were to happen, like, and they finally played him 25 to 30 minutes, he could go for 35, 40. All right, now just quickly take a look at DraftKings, the same game. I just want to see any, like, the bigger pricing discrepancies.
Let me see.
Yeah. So
wow. KD is 10-7.
10-7 on DK. Oof. And what is he on FanDuel?
10-9, I think it was.
10-9.
Clay is only 6'2".
Yeah, Clay at 6'2", and Draymond at 7'4". Same story. David West is 3,400. And then Pau Gasol 4,700. LMA 9,700. Rudy Gay 48. Kyle Anderson 46. Ginobili 38.
Yeah, see, now that's the question here. Like, is it Ginobili or Green? Because it's a $600 price difference.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And Tony Parker 3,300. Like, that's my favorite play of this game by far.
Did Bertans just completely fall out of the rotation with Anderson and Gabe playing?
Yeah. Unless it was a throwaway game, he didn't see too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about the playoffs, too. Like, the rotations tighten up.
Yeah. Like, you'll see, in close games, guys play closer to 40 minutes than, like, 30, 32.
Yes. And that's the one thing that kind of worries me about Murray.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's young. Earlier in the year, like, Pop would pull him for.
He had a short leash on that kid all year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you got a veteran like Tony Parker sitting there that, can protect the ball, can score. So, I mean, I'm all over Tony Parker. Pretty much pricing on this game is fairly similar. You got the one Ginobili 3.8 and Danny Green difference and
4-4, yeah.
And then you got the Kyle Andersons and Rudy Gay. So maybe I'd take a stab at Kyle Anderson on DraftKings, and Rudy Gay would be more of like a blowout build where I think, Golden State wins by a lot and Pop gets the veterans out early, and you see like more Patty Mills, DeJounte Murray. But I don't anticipate. I think this game's going to be close. I don't really see it blowing out.
Yeah, San Antonio don't get blown out very often. Not in the playoffs.
And not by a banged-up Golden State team that just looked terrible down the stretch.
I like LaMarcus Aldridge a little more on DK than FanDuel, but still steep.
Yeah, I mean, if I'll have him a little bit, especially where I'm looking at like game stacks, because if you're building multiples, you definitely want to have a handful of your teams where they're just game stacks, because if one of these games were to go to overtime, or just the ones that stay like neck and neck in the end where they're fouling and they're not giving up, like they do in the regular season, a lot more DFS points can be accumulated just in the last like 2 minutes between like the team trailing, hitting threes, and then the team that's in the lead getting fouled, and like, the last 2 minutes takes like half an hour. So you should have some stacks. So maybe I'd have him in there, but I just think I think his ceiling is like 50, 55, and that's 5x.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't go for 60 plus all that often, if ever.
He can, but yeah, he could also go for 25.
Yeah, and like Parker, Gasol, all those guys do a lot of the work, and I'd lean on that happening more than him going for 60 plus. But definitely a game you want to have a little exposure to, but my least favorite by far. Next game we got, starting at 5:35. This is a real interesting series to me. Washington Wizards finally, got John Wall back towards the end. He looked electric the last few games, taking on the Toronto Raptors. I know Van Fleet had a question mark, and so did Otto Porter. Van Fleet's a game-time decision, and for Washington, Jody Meeks is out. Mike Scott and Otto Porter are game-time decisions. I got Otto Porter here. Porter went through portions of Friday's practice and is questionable for Saturday's game 1. I think he's going to play. It's a strained calf. And then, I don't know, I think Mike Scott got hurt that last game. Mike Scott. Scott is still going through concussion protocol and considered doubtful for Saturday's game one. And then Van Fleet, that's like he plays big minutes, that dude. If he were to miss,
and he's very good defensively.
Yeah. He's questionable. Apparently still in discomfort after injuring his shoulder during Wednesday's season finale. More information should arrive following the team's Saturday morning shoot-around. So
I'm sure he's going to play.
Yeah, I would think so. So before breaking this down, I think this will be the closest of the Eastern Conference series, right, in the first round. I wouldn't be shocked if Washington won and Toronto had a big letdown. And, I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto won, obviously their favorite. But, I think they match up well together. I think they have very similar roster constructions. Toronto's much deeper, but I don't think that has as much impact in the playoffs. I think this series goes 7, and if not 7, at least 6. And I honestly think Washington's going to win. I'm not
You think Washington is going to win the series?
I do. I really do.
Wow. I mean, they can, of course. They got John Wall. Shit.
He's going to let down.
I don't. I mean, we've seen in years past Toronto just completely. They just fall apart in the playoffs. Like DeRozan and Lowry They just can't make a shot. They just fall apart.
Yeah, and that's why they're so dependent on shooting, jump shooting, mid-range shooting.
But this year, I think it's gonna be different with their defense because the defense is so strong. That is playoff. That is for playoffs.
Yeah, and Washington is not strong defensively at all.
Yeah, I mean, Washington does have John Wall and Bradley Beal. Both of them could take over a game at any point.
Yep.
But I don't think that Washington is going to win. But I do know that Washington is not an 8 seed. Washington is an 8 seed because of injuries to John Wall.
Missed.
Yeah. I thought that there was top 4 or 5 team in the East. So that makes it I think probably the best matchup in the first round.
Yep.
On the East.
So on FanDuel, what are we looking at here?
I mean, John Wall.
9-4.
I've said it. Whoever watched the show all year, I do not like attacking Toronto, but at 9-4, it's John Wall. John Wall could put up 60 against anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who it is. So with that kind of ceiling at 9-4, I definitely like it. I mean, he was playing big minutes when he came back. I could see him playing 40 minutes here. I could definitely see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Lowry is really cheap. DeRozan is cheap. I like both of them. I can't get to Beal. I can't play Beal at $900 more than DeRozan when John Wall's there.
So Kyle Lowry, 6,800. We haven't seen him there all season. I don't understand that.
Earlier in the year.
The first few weeks before things normalize. But I don't understand that price. And then DeRozan at $7K, we haven't seen that in a long time. I know.
And like you just said, Washington is not that great defensively.
Yeah,
and
that's confusing.
I think they're both too cheap. Probably $1,000 too cheap on FanDuel.
Yeah,
at least $1,000.
They're daring you to play these guys.
DeRozan should be more expensive than Bradley Beal.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're both too cheap. Both of them.
Before we go deeper in this, I will definitely have a lineup that has Wall, Lowry, DeRozan, and Beal. Guarantee that. Just stack the 4 guards of this game and hope that they just go off. Because if they do in a close game, DeRozan and Lowry are going to be looking at 7-8x apiece. And, Wall and Beal won't have that much point per dollar, but their raw points are going to be up there too.
Yep. But I can't play Serge Ibaka, though. He was playing well, but, I mean, his ceiling is probably 35, and that's barely over 5x.
On FanDuel, there's no way I'm playing Ibaka at 5'9". Just not
no way.
Chance. No chance.
I would much rather play Marquise Morris or less. I don't necessarily love him either, but I like him over Ibaka.
What do you think about Jonas Valanciunas?
Um, I don't know, but I will be very interested to see how coach lets him play in game one. Like,
Yeah.
are we gonna get some minutes,
Yep.
or are we gonna stay at 25? If he's getting 25 minutes, he has upside, but more
Yeah.
often than not, I don't think he's gonna get it. So I'm probably not gonna play him much. If he gets up to 30 minutes,
Yeah.
then
He's
yes,
got major upside. I think still.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be building multiples, so I'm definitely going to have a little, but he's like one of those guys that, I'm on the fence about, like, do I just have a little or should I go like a little overweight? Because he'll be low owned, like he's not going to be one of the higher owned guys because you never know. Like, I mean, all season long, they pretty much played total just about the same amount of minutes, and the same thing for Siakam with Ibaka. And we don't know what they're going to do in these playoffs.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the things we really need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Is he going to tighten up this rotation? Because if he is, it makes the starters even better plays.
Yeah, at those discounted prices. And
Yeah.
like we do have a live stream tomorrow. It'll be about 1:30, hour and a half before lock. I will be going, through last year's minutes, but it's not guaranteed to be the same. Like, the second unit on this Toronto team, like
Probably the best in the NBA.
by far the best in the NBA. Like, and that's why I think Lowry and DeRozan's prices are down because they were basically like splitting the game up, 30 minutes for the starters, 30 minutes for the backups. I doubt it plays out like that in the playoffs, especially like if Toronto gets down by a few points. There's no way he's going to just leave the second unit in.
But, I mean, you're going to make multiple teams, so are you going to take that chance? Are you going to put a Podol in? Because he has as much upside as Valanciunas if they play the same minutes. He showed it.
Yeah, no, I know. I'll probably have a very small amount of total.
What about Siakam?
Even less on Siakam.
Yeah, I would say less on him too.
Yeah.
Because I think that if somebody gets knocked out of rotation, it would be him first. You know what I'm saying? Where
like
they could
like CJ Miles can play the three. Like they even play what's his name? The point guard.
Delon Wright.
Delon Wright at the three. They got OG. Like, so Siakam, like he can get kind of lost in that mix. Like I expect CJ Miles to get some minutes, and if he's hitting his shot, he'll play some more. But Podol and Joval, like that's a 1-for-1. No one else really gets in that center mix.
I mean, there's not the same amount of punts in this game as the first one for me on FanDuel. CJ Miles, he's min price, he can get hot. And Mike Scott, if he plays,
yeah, he looks doubtful. He looks doubtful.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, but
so no, you can't
2 or 3 if he's available. I'm with you on that. I think he's a viable.
I mean, that makes Oubre a better play if Mike Scott is definitely gonna miss.
Yeah, and I mean Otto Porter's questionable. Looks like he's closer to probable, but if Otto Porter were to miss, then Oubre at 4-4 becomes a lock.
Yeah.
And I mean I like Oubre anyway.
So yeah, really the only cheap really. Yeah, no, I do too because he plays probably about 20 minutes at least.
25.
But CJ Miles is probably the best punt here. But Mahimi too. He's min price, but he takes up a center spot on FanDuel. We got to see what his DK price is.
Yeah, he's gonna be close to min. I don't think in game 1 I'd go Mahimi. I'd want to see it, and I don't think I'll be playing much Gortat at 4-7. Like it's just a little too expensive. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, I just do not like this guy. This guy. This guy.
I know. If he was like 4K, 4-1, I'd probably have some interest because he's the same boat. Like a guy who'll probably play more minutes than he usually does. They're going to need him to guard Joe Val.
Hopefully.
But at 4-7,
I would hope so.
Like 30 is probably a ceiling, and that's barely 6X. Like, I'll go somewhere else. But yeah.
Lowry and DeRozan and Wall.
Yeah. Yep. And Wall. And then Beal on DraftKings. So let's take a look at DraftKings real quick. I do not think that Lowry's 7-3. DeRozan's 7-6, but Brad Beal is 7K on DraftKings. John Wall 8,500 on draft. That's so weird. So like on DraftKings, it's the flip. They got the Wizards underpriced, and the Raptors probably about where they should be. Otto Porter 61.
Valanciunas is 5'5".
Yeah.
Oh man. Total here is only 3'8".
Yep. And Markieff and Ibaka are 5'2" and 5'1". Like, that's a bit more reasonable.
Yeah, there's no really punch here either. The CJ Miles.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka I can't go to, but I could understand him on DK. Yeah. It's much better price than 6K on FanDuel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. John Wall, I mean, he's too cheap.
Oh, yeah. This is a game, like, the first game I'll probably, like, have tighter player pools, like, just play the guys we mentioned, but I'll be watching, and that could really expand by game 2 or 3, where, like, oh, we're seeing OG Anumboy at 3-2 playing 35 minutes. I'll take a shot. Like, once we get one sample size, then, we can adjust. But, for game 1, I'm just going to stick to Lowry, DeRozan, stacked with Wall on FanDuel, and on DraftKings, I'll play all 4 of those guys, and then mix in a little bit of Joe Val and like some Markieff and Ibaka, I think.
I like Poto on DK.
What is it? 3-8?
3-8.
You can't go wrong.
If it continues to play, if it continues to split minutes, I mean, I don't know, man. I just think it's too cheap.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely worth a shot if you're building more.
20 minutes. It's 20 minutes.
Yep. And against, like, Gortat or Fahimi, like, I agree. But if you're making one team, does he make it?
No.
Probably not. No. So, all right, let's move on. This next game, I think, is also very interesting. We got the Miami Heat taking on the hottest team in the NBA the last 16 games. Did you know they won their last 16 games?
In a row? They won all 16 of them?
All 16 in a row down the stretch. And most of them were without Embiid.
I did not know they won 16. Yeah, I know. And Sark missed some too.
Yep. Sark missed a little. Like, Redick missed like 2 or 3. Really, really impressed with Ben Simmons' development. From the beginning of the year, he was like a guy that, was flashy, had some upside, but really was like overpriced to, becoming the man without Embiid, and he really impressed me. JJ Redick without Embiid has really stepped up. So who do you think wins this series? You got the young Philadelphia versus the veteran Miami.
Philly.
Yeah.
Philly is my sneaky team to get all the way. They are built for the playoffs.
I agree. Especially, like, I think he hasn't been officially ruled out yet, but Embiid, I doubt's going to play the first game, and I expect him to be there for the second and the latest the third.
Yeah. And, oh, man. Yeah, this team is so good. I love this team. Love them.
So you think Philly and how many, though? You think this is a sweep, or like we go 6, 7, 8?
6. Because I do respect Miami. I respect the hell out of Eric Spoelstra. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be 6.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, this is like another really tough one for me to call. I think it'll go 6 or 7. Like, I think Philly's super talented, but Miami's got a ton of experience and like gritty players like Nick Tat, Tyler Johnson, Goran Dragic. Kelly Oubre is not like gritty, but he's got talent coming off that bench. Like
Tyler Johnson,
Josh Richardson, Tyler Johnson. They're deep, and then Dwayne Wade, the veteran stud. Like, he's another guy like even better than the Tony Parker example, but guy that very rarely played much more than 20, 25 minutes because they were keeping him healthy for this exact moment. and he is crazy underpriced. He's my favorite play of the whole slate on FanDuel.
100%. He's 4-4. I say his minimum minutes. If the game stays close, minimum 25.
Yeah. And the
minimum
usage
25.
is going to be like 35.
Yeah, his usage is massive. Like, he is the best player on the slate on FanDuel. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah.
I would not make a team without him.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. I knew he was going to be an opportunity the first game, but I didn't know that they were going to lower his price to 4-4.
I just
12 at that. If things go well.
Oh man, oh my God, he has such upside at that price. I love Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, and you don't think he's dying to advance and see LeBron and beat the Cavs? They just
definitely
dropped him from. He was on the Cavs this year. They just.
And beat the young up and coming team. Like, everybody's talking about Philly. Nobody's talking about Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would not be shocked. I would not bet on Philly, or Miami. I'm just gonna enjoy this one. If gun to my head, I had to pick, I guess I would say Philly, but I am not confident in that at all. I would not be shocked at all to see Miami win this series. We will see. This is gonna be another awesome one to watch. But who else do you like outside of Dwayne Wade?
Saric. I like Saric. Without Embiid, you gotta like him. Who I don't like is Ersan Ilyasova. That price is nuts.
So you weren't playing the last few weeks. Saric was a disaster the last few games, and so he had one of his worst games ever. Right, then he got sick, had another horrible game shooting. Didn't even close. They had Ilyasova close. Ilyasova had monster games in the end. Then he finally gets over sickness and gets head-butted in the first 30 seconds of the next game, leaves the game. I had him in 60% of my teams, got a 0, and lost 3 teeth. And that was the second to last game. The very last game, he finally came back and played really well. But that's why his price is cheap. He's 6'4" on DraftKings. What's he on FanDuel? 5'7". That is probably my second favorite play of the whole slate. He's gonna be playing 50 minute, 35. He's got 50-point upside at 5'7".
That was my exact thing that was gonna come out of my mouth. He has 50-point upside at 5'7".
Yeah, without Embiid, he's gonna be the guy taking the shots down the stretch. As good as Simmons is, he is not a great shooter. So they're gonna defer to Saric and Redick. And, Sark's going to take the bulk of the shots. He'll probably lead the team in shot attempts if he doesn't get in, foul trouble or, have a miserable game. And his last game against Milwaukee, they annihilated Milwaukee, 130-95. Both teams were full strength. He took 19 shots, went 10 of 19, 3 of 7 from 3, scored 24 points, 5 rebounds. He was back. But before that, it had gotten ugly. He shot 1 of 9 2 games prior to that, 2 of 10 the game before that. But he was dealing with some sickness. Then he hurt got headbutted. I think he's back. He's definitely my second favorite play on the slate on FanDuel. And even at 6'4" on DraftKings, very, very interested.
I really like Whiteside as well. He has a major upside. I wish Embiid was playing. It makes him better because they hate each other. Amir Johnson, I like a lot. With no Embiid, he, in my opinion, is the best option for Whiteside.
Yeah, 4-1.
And Holmes is worth a shot too because he could be playing really well, but on FanDuel, I don't think he's a good play for me.
What's his FanDuel price?
Like Amir Johnson, much better. He's 4-5, so he's definitely worth a shot. You love your lineup, you want a cheap center, he's a decent option.
Yeah,
and if I didn't love Dwayne Wade so much, I would like Wayne Ellington at 3-7, but I think it's more of a Dwayne Wade spot here than
Yeah, like
And
so. As rotations get tighter, Wade's gonna get more minutes, so somebody's gonna lose out. Like I think that's gonna be Winslow and Ellington that get less minutes. I think even like Nectat will play more minutes than he usually did. Um, I like Whiteside too. I will definitely have some like 20, 25%. He's a guy I'm scared to go overweight on though. Without Embiid, they kind of go a little small, Philly. And I could see them kind of not playing Whiteside a ton, although I think that's a huge mistake. And it's not like a definite, but they've done that this year where they've gone smaller and you've seen like Olynyk get big minutes. So like I'm nervous about Whiteside. I think he'll get big minutes and pay off, but not
yeah, I mean, he's another guy that I think has 50-point upside, but his price is a little more than Sark.
Yeah.
But I do like him though, for sure.
Yeah, 7K on FanDuel, absolutely. I think it's worth a shot, especially where you're getting like 3 points for blocks. I think on FanDuel I'll definitely play more Hassan, and he's a tad more expensive on DraftKings. What about the guards here? Like, any interest in Dragic?
Nah, I don't think he has the upside I'm looking for. Yeah, he's not gonna make my. I just no.
And I mean, Tyler Johnson is 5'2" on FanDuel. That's way too much for me. But on DraftKings, I think he's 4'3".
How much is Whiteside on DK? I don't see.
DK?
Where is he?
He's 7'2".
Why is he not here? Oh, because I'm only seeing Philly players. What an idiot. Okay, there he is, 7'2".
Yeah, 7'2". Well, first of all, what's Ben Simmons on FanDuel? Like 10K?
Too much for me.
10K?
Yep.
I think if you watched towards the end of the season, you may have a little different tune. Like I think you're still in February.
I don't think so.
Okay, let me read off some of these games.
I mean, I see them.
59, 56, 63, 78. There's some other 40s mixed in there, but he's shown us big time ceiling without Embiid. And who's going to guard him on Miami? Nectat?
Winslow, Nectat for sure. Who else? I don't think they're gonna put Josh Richardson on them. It's kind of
I think he's too small.
He's a good defender, but
maybe
too small.
Dwayne Wade guards him a little.
Can't use Dwayne Wade. I just don't like.
Gotta be Nectat. That's gonna be that's why I think Nectat will get more minutes just guarding them.
And Winslow too.
Yeah.
But Olynyk can't do that's he can't work. What else? Yeah. They really don't have nothing else besides Winslow and James Johnson.
Minutes, and he's probably not fast enough. Damn.
No. Yeah. It's only those two dudes I think that can guard him really.
Yeah. James
Johnson, Justice Winslow.
Yep.
But I still don't see. He has it, yes, but I don't think there's other plays that I think have more upside. Like
how about
I'll play Sarek. I'll play Sarek and hope that he has a huge game and Simmons just has a normal value game.
Yeah, like low points.
9-4 on DK. Yeah, like 10 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, something like that. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't go off
And on DK, you could put him at guard or small forward, or he can fill into any slot, which is kind of valuable. At 9-4, I'll be playing him. I agree on FanDuel. I doubt I'll really go there, unless I'm doing a game stack.
Okay, how much is Dwayne Wade here?
4.9.
There he is, 4.9. Still a marvelous
best
play
on the
on
slate.
DK as well. I don't know, man. I don't know if I still want to get to Ben Simmons here. I think he's a better play here, but I still just how much is I gotta look at that last game. Maybe. Better play on DK though.
Yeah, definitely better play on DK.
Do you think he's gonna be popular though? With him beat out and people thinking Saric is not that guy that he was when Embiid was out earlier in the year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Because, like, there's not, I mean, you got AD on the slate. So on FanDuel, he's power forward, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you got AD at 12.5. It's a $2,500 discount. LMA at 10.2. Like, I doubt LMA gets much ownership over him. Mirotic is 7.7. That's not really great. People don't like playing Draymond. I mean, I think Sarge will get ownership. But, like, I do think on FanDuel he may get some ownership because, like, there's enough value to get there. And the position's kind of scarce. You know, it's like either they're going to go to AD or him.
But you don't think it's gonna be popular on DK?
I don't think as popular, right? Because you're deciding like John Wall or Dame Lillard or him, and then or you move it over to forward and you're looking at like Durant, him, LMA, AD. So it's like I think on FanDuel he'll be a little bit more popular because he's like easily like a top 3 play at that position.
I definitely don't like Saric as much on DK.
Yeah, at 6'4".
Still a good play though, but I don't like him as much.
Yep. So like Robert Covington's FanDuel price, that's insanity. You see it?
Yeah, I did.
7.8, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't even mention him. It's no 7.9. I wouldn't even say his name.
That's ridiculous. He's 6'3" on DraftKings.
Yeah, way better play there for sure. And I still probably won't play him.
Yeah, I don't think I'll play him either. But like in stacks, I will. He's viable. Like he could, like go for 40 if he's, hitting shots and getting steals. And then the last guy on Philly, like on DraftKings, JJ Redick is 5,300.
Get the 3-point bonus there too.
3-point bonus.
I like him there. I don't like him on FanDuel though.
So since Embiid went down, listen to his DK scores: 39, 25, 26, 27, 40, 33, 27, and 42. Like the shot totals have gone way up: 17, 14, 15, 15, 19. They're mostly threes. He's going to be the one getting fouled at the end of games. He's one of the best foul shooters in the game. He'll be taking the shots if they're like tied and there's 10 seconds to go or they're down by 3. I will definitely take a stab on DraftKings on JJ Redick at 5'3". But at 5'9", I don't think so.
Yeah, nah, me neither. But Amir Johnson is a great play on DK at 3.9.
Yeah,
like if I was playing multiple teams on there, like I think I would have almost all my teams would have Holmes or Amir Johnson on it. Holmes is 4K, Amir Johnson is 3.9. They're gonna have to play. The Whiteside is gonna be on the court, so unless he gets in foul trouble or hurt, he's gonna play 30 plus minutes. So they gotta have somebody out there. Yep. Simmons and Saric won't work on Whiteside, so they gotta have one of these big dudes.
Yeah, I agree. And Amir Johnson really impressed me down the stretch. Like, he's
my favorite.
Not as flashy, but he rebounds better. I think he plays better D. I expect him to get more.
Much better defender. And he could step out and make a shot now. He worked on his shot. He can make a 3. He's not going to be taking many shots, though. You're not playing him for that.
Yeah, of course. But he can. I know what you're saying. He's like Charles Oakley.
I wish. I love that guy. But no Bam, though, right? No Bam,
Yeah,
right?
he's not going to get enough minutes. But Nectat, I have a lot of interest at 5'4" on DK. I think it's 5'4".
Yeah, 5'4", yeah.
I have a lot of interest. What's he on FanDuel?
What was he? Um, 5'4" too.
5'4". So him, Whiteside, and obviously Dwayne Wade are my most interested Heat. And for Philly, it's going to be Saric, Amir Johnson, Simmons, Redick.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, Nectat played against them 4 times this year. He played 22 minutes, 21, 16, and 20. He went for 37 one of those games in 21 minutes. Had a 4 in 16 minutes. Like, it's all over. But, 37 at 5'4", you'll definitely take. That's 7.5x. I expect him to be on the court a lot guarding Simmons.
He's the best option for them.
Yeah, definitely. All right, last game of the night and probably the most exciting. We've got the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Portland Trailblazers. The Trailblazers are 5.5-point favorites, and the over/under is 217.5. New Orleans is essentially full strength, and Maurice Harkless has actually been ruled out for Portland, so that's already been decided. That's the only real injury on Portland. Who do you think wins this game and then series, and then who do you like for tomorrow's slate?
Portland. I like this. I like this series though. This one should be fun. This one should be real fun. And this is by far my favorite game. I'm gonna try to get as much exposure as I can to this game.
Yep.
I love this game.
If these slates are slate swap or not. I don't think so. Full roster.
I don't think so. Yeah, see, what I'm hoping is people want to bust that nut. You know what I'm saying? And get it all in and leave it all for me, please, because I love this game right here.
Yeah.
This is the spot.
This one will be under-owned than it should be because it's so late, And,
yes.
Even though it's so unlikely you get, like, a scratch, like, Drew Holiday not playing. Like, that's not happening, but it's just people like to get their stuff in early. I mean, I don't think it's going to be, like, ignored by any stretch, but...
No, hopefully it better not be.
Yeah. So, what are we looking at?
Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, AD. You always got to say AD, but he's so expensive. He kind of hurts your roster construction. But on FanDuel, there's enough value where you could get it in. Like, you could play Danny Green, Dwayne Wade, and Tony Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of value there. That's 3 very cheap dudes. So he's in play for sure. But man, when I saw Mirotic,
fit him. Like, you can fit AD if you want to.
Oh yeah, no doubt. When I saw Mirotic's game logs, I was blown away.
Yep.
Like, oh man, this guy impressed me so much this year. I remember at the beginning of the year, I was like, he's gonna be bad. Like, he doesn't have the guy to get him open shots in Chicago. He's just gonna be bad. And he proved me wrong right when he came back from the broke face. Like, he was balling. And I just wish he would get more minutes, and he's getting more minutes. That guy is good, man. He really, really impressed me. I underestimated. The guy's really good. 7-7 is a steep price. But, man, this guy is balling right now. This dude is balling. If he's going to get 35 minutes, he is definitely worth a play at 7-7.
I mean, I think he's definitely getting 35 minutes. Like, he got that
he's been.
Stretch. He got 34.
And he should have been the whole year.
And they were fighting, like, for seeding. So, like, you may even see more minutes.
But Dame gets Rondo defense. Ugh, it's just a beautiful thing. And at the same time, on the other end, like, you can play Rondo. It's a national TV game.
Yeah.
So he's in play, but
Let's stay
I
on the
like him, of
Pelicans. Like,
course.
I feel like with this emergence of Miritic, it's almost like hard to pick where to go. It's like they've got four guys that could go for 50. You know, Miritich, AD, Drew Holiday, and Rondo, and like with the emergence of before Miritich was getting those minutes, you just play the three of them. Now that Miritich is in the mix, it's like it's tough. Like AD at 12-5 when Miritich has been outscoring him, like that's hard to do. But he's AD, he can go for 70 in this spot. Like I'm having a tough time with New Orleans right now. Like I
I
know,
think it hurts AD the most. Like Drew Holiday is still putting he's still getting it in. He's getting a lot of assists. I think it hurts AD the most with price considered. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So I like Drew Holiday over Anthony Davis, and I might like Rondo over Anthony Davis, but that's hard for me to say. But I do like Drew Holiday, no doubt about it.
Drew Holiday's what on FanDuel 8-7.
8-7, yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I feel like he's the odd man out. Like
Man, he was He was still balling. Like he was putting up the same numbers as AD, and you get to save
yeah,
$3,000 whatever dollars. I mean, he's still putting up 50s. I mean, you got to look at the opponents too. You got Phoenix, the Lakers, not the Lakers, Clippers, and Golden State. Golden State's good, of course, but
so like they were doing this funky thing with Rondo at the end of the year, where like he play one game 30 minutes all out, then like the next game he'd play like 15, and Ian Clark would play, and like it depended if it was close or not. Like I wouldn't play them two together, Rondo and Drew Holiday. And I probably wouldn't play Miritich and AD together, and I think like I want to go Rondo AD like on like a main team, and then like I'd probably go Rondo Miritich and then Drew Holiday like other combos in like lesser dollar teams. But I think my main team is going to be Rondo. Well, DraftKings Rondo at 6-1. FanDuel Rondo at 6-7.
He's 6'1". He's 6'1".
Yeah, he's 6-1. Oh, he's 6-1 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so FanDuel Rondo versus 8-7 Drew. Like, I'm going Rondo. Like, he can go for 50. That's 8x. National TV. Like, he's a veteran. Like,
I like Drew better, but it's not like it's that far off. Like Rondo is still a very good player. Oh my God. These dudes, man.
Like if Drew gets you 50, that doesn't win you the slate.
Yeah, no. If Rondo does it, definitely.
It helped. Yeah. So I mean, Drew's 7-9 on DraftKings. That's and Rondo's 6-7. So that's like there. I'd probably play more Drew. Like, but even there, I think I'd go like half and half. But on FanDuel, I think it's clearly Rondo. Like, I think Drew's a tad too expensive with like less rebounds now that Miritich is in there, and even Rondo goes and gets rebounds. And like, just because Miritich was taking over down the stretch doesn't mean like AD won't take back that role in the playoffs.
Well, from what you just said, I agree. But I could play Rondo and Drew together before I could play AD and Miritich together.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Especially against Portland. I definitely agree with that.
Oh man, this is.
Anybody else like on
no
Pelicans like Quantum Moore?
No, this is those four.
Yeah, I agree. Just those four.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $5 for Easton Moore. He would be the next dude, but I'm not paying for Ian Clark because I think Rondo will play more. Ian Clark might go down to 15 minutes or less. I like them. I like all four of them.
Yeah.
AD is my least favorite. If I had to rank them, it would be probably. Oh, it's so close.
No.
I like all of them.
I think Miritich is a little overpriced too on FanDuel.
He is.
7-7. I know he's been earning it.
No, he is. I mean, he's more than Draymond. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's crazy. It's real. But now let me talk to you about their DraftKings prices because it's just a different world. All right. So you got AD at 11-3. You've got Mirotic at
6'9".
6'9", Drew Holiday at 7'9", and Rondo at 6'7". Like, I think AD's my favorite over there at 11-3.
So, huh? What did you say?
I think AD's my favorite one of that group over there at 11-3.
I would still say Drew, but I can't argue with you. I mean, AD is a great play at 11-3.
Yeah, like if he goes for
And I don't like Rondo
65,
as much here.
yeah, me neither. At 6'7", it takes a lot of the upside out. So like
He
it
does
doesn't.
have triple double upside, but
Yeah, he definitely does. But he's also risky, like where he like if Lillard's killing him, he could like get pulled and
yeah,
like
they play Drew at
yeah,
point guard.
like there's no world where AD's coming out unless he gets injured, and Drew Holiday ain't coming out unless he gets like foul trouble.
The reason I love Drew so much is just I think it's a great matchup. Either one who guards him,
Yeah,
like,
definitely. He's
and
definitely
even if they try to push like Evan Turner on him, which I don't think they will, it's just a great matchup. I think for him as far as individual defenders. Portland's team defense is good. They play good defense, but individual, he has a great matchup. Ugh, I like Drew Holiday a lot. He's kind of burned me. I know it.
I mean, Drew Holiday, I'm only gonna play on DraftKings. I think at 8-7, like how am I gonna play him over DeRozan
Yeah.
at 7K? You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna happen, right? Because I'm gonna have Wade on FanDuel in my shooting guard.
No doubt. I mean, on FanDuel, Dwayne Wade and Danny Green are the top two plays for me.
Yeah, I like Klay Thompson a lot over there. I will have some DeRozan, and that's probably about it. Maybe I don't even like Redick over there. But yeah, Danny Green, Wayne Wade. Let me see what Drew Holiday's usage was down the stretch here. 26%, 10%, 23%, 23, and 23. I mean, that's not bad, but that's not amazing. And let's see what Mirotic's was. Mirotic, 22.6, 23.5, 21.6, 31.0. But the rebounds for Mirotic is what's been crazy.
Oh, yeah.
15, 16, 6, and then another 16.
And AD's usage is still over 30 every day.
Yeah. So, like, it's not always just like point per dollar. Like, if AD goes for 65 on DraftKings, like that's 6x. Like, you're gonna have people that have more, than 6x, but 6x with 65 raw points, I think, is worth more than Mirotic getting you 6.5x.
100%.
So like, I think on DraftKings, AD's my favorite, followed by your boy Drew. Followed by followed by Mirotic, then Rondo. And on FanDuel, it's probably,
probably the opposite.
Yeah, I know. It's
like Rondo is probably first.
Yeah, Rondo, Mirotic, Drew, AD. All right, so now that we just destroyed the New Orleans side, talk to me about Portland.
Those guys are balling, man. Those guys are putting up numbers in New Orleans, man. Jamie Lillard, I love against Rondo for sure. I like
98 on FanDuel.
Yeah, 9-8.
9-2.
What is he on DK? 9-2. I like that too. He's a baller. I love that kid. McCollum is in play. I just like Damian Lillard so much more, but he is $2,800 cheaper. While I hate this dude, and I think he rarely ever has upside, Evan Turner is min price on FanDuel, and he's gonna play. I would guess at least 25 minutes minimum.
Yeah, he's
with
3.9.
no low.
3.9 on DraftKings.
He's a good play there too.
Yeah.
He can go out and literally play 30 minutes and put up an 8.
Oh yeah. So Portland was pretty much playing, all their games down the stretch. Lillard missed a couple, birth of his child, some little injuries, but these are Turner's minutes: 28, 37, 31, 25, 25, 22, 32, 29. And the usage: 12.9, 12.0, 19.7, 14.1, 6.7, 21.1, 14.0. Exactly what you said.
Oh, wow. He had a 21, huh?
Yeah. Like, he'll get the minutes, but he could get you a 9, or he can get you a 30. And the 30 wins tournaments for you. The 9 hurts.
Yep.
But he's the guy that'll be low owned and is definitely worth a shot. If I was building one team, I don't know if he'd make it, but it'd be, he'd definitely be in the conversation because of the things he'd allow you to do. But multiples, he's absolutely got to be in your player pool.
Oh, 100%. And I think Aminu is really cheap too. Like, he's going to play at least 30 minutes. I don't see a way he doesn't play 30 minutes.
He's going to play probably more than that.
Yeah, I would say 35, but bare minimum 30.
Yeah.
Just, ugh.
And
he's 4'8".
He had a rough last week of the season, like last 7 games, but like right before those 7, he was on this murder streak. Yeah, he was going for 40, 5 nights in a row. So he's got the ability. He can rebound, hit shots.
He single-handedly won me so much money in the playoffs. I don't know if it was I think it was 2 years ago. By himself, alone. He won me so much money. He went absolutely ham against Golden State. No own. And then the next day, he was chalk as hell, and everybody played him, and I faded him, and he won me money that day too. Oh, it was awesome. I'll never forget it to the day I die.
Yep, there's so many guys like that in DFS that become your bestie. Dude, the shot attempts on Aminu are just all over the place. 4, 13, 6, 4, 13, 10 3-point attempts, 0, 4, 8, 2. Which Aminu are we going to get? I would assume, just like I said on Turner, he's definitely worth being in your player pool. And he might even make my main team. There's a chance.
He has some games, too, where his usage is under 10. But most of them is in the teens to upper teens, low 20s. Man. I just think he's too cheap. And he has steal upside. New Orleans is going to run. They're going to run whenever they have a chance. I think he's a very good play. What is he on DK?
4.9.
4.9. Yeah, same price. I like him. He just has way more upside than Turner.
Turner, definitely.
Why Turner does, it's just Turner does it way less often than Aminu can.
Yeah, less often, and Turner's not going for 40. Turner may get you to 30, 32, 33. Aminu could go for 40, 45, and he'll do it more consistently. So yeah, I agree.
And Nurkic too. Nurkic on FanDuel, I don't know if I could pay 8, but on DK, it's 6'6". You can give me that.
Oh my God. Absolutely.
I love that.
He's my favorite center on DraftKings by far. His last 8 games, his lowest score is still 5x. So he went for 37.25, 47.7, 40, 31.75 his worst game, 33.7, 53, 36, and then listen to the minutes. Only one of those games was over 30. He played mostly 29s, 27, 23s. If he plays 36 to 37 minutes, he could absolutely smash that price.
They gotta have big dudes for AD. I love Nurkic.
And Biggs killed Pelicans all year. Like Nurkic,
no doubt,
is in
like
that.
once Boogie went down,
yeah,
it was over. Like the sky was the limit for just about anybody against New Orleans. And like we discussed him earlier too, like Ed Davis. If Nurkic gets into foul trouble, I mean Ed Davis's min price, he's definitely worth a shot, especially if you're playing a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's shown us he can go, for 30 points in 15 to 18 minutes. Zach Collins did get more run down the stretch, but I like
him.
I think that was like a matter of Davis had a little bit of injury issues towards the end of the season, and like Portland, was locked into making the playoffs. It was just a seeding thing. So I think it was like, let's heal up Davis and then let's see what Collins has. I think Davis would actually play more minutes
because it's a rookie and we're in the playoffs time now. Like this ain't the time to mess around with trying to get him in. You get it. You work him out in the off season and next year. And I do like him. I think he's gonna be good. I like his game, but give me Ed Davis over him all day.
For sure. Yeah. And that's the for sure play of the day by Patio Joe.
I don't know if he is.
I dropped that baby. The only guy you didn't mention on the Portland side is CJ McCollum. 6'8" on DK. I think he's 7K on FanDuel. What's your interest?
I like him at 7K. I didn't say a lot because I like Dame so much more. But there is a world where Dame is not playing his best, and CJ McCollum can light it up. And Lillard doesn't care about being the number one scorer or none of that. Dame, I don't think Dame cares about that. He is a lot of times because he's that good, but he will let CJ just take over if he's doing it.
Yep.
He's gonna play 35 minutes minimum. I would say closer to 40.
Yep.
He's gonna handle the rock whenever Dame is on the bench. He's gonna play point guard.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. What is his price on the on TK? Because he's
6'8".
He's 6'8". I mean, definitely in play, man. Everybody's in play against New Orleans.
So they played 4 times this year. He didn't really do that great. So you got 24 DK points in 37 minutes, 39 in 35. We'd obviously take that at 6'8". 26.50 in 34 minutes, and 32.50 in 36 minutes. Like, what that makes me think is Drew Holiday defense.
Yeah, I was about to say, what you hope for if you do play him is that I would probably play him without Dame. I don't think that both of them, I don't think both of them have ceiling games together. But what you hope is Coach puts Drew on Dame and Rondo on CJ because he can do that. I don't think he will to start the game, but if Dame is lighting him up, he might do that.
Yep, that's definitely possible. I totally agree with that. I would not play them two together, but I would play both of them with Nurkic.
Yeah, I really on DK. You shouldn't make a team without Nurkic, in my opinion. Like he should be
him.
You should have so much Nurkic on DK.
Yeah, on DK. Dwayne Wade and Nurkic are my 2 favorite plays of the whole slate. By far. Like, far and away. And then I really like Dame Lillard. Like, 9-2, too cheap. I think 8 out of 10 times you play this game at home, this game 1, he goes for more than 50 points 8 out of 10 times. And I think he'll approach 60 on DraftKings with all the threes, and I expect this one to be close. So at 9-2, I love Dame. 9-8 on FanDuel, I love it too. But, there's a handful of other options like Kyle Lowry at 6'8". But I really like Dame Lillard. And
I'm playing Dame.
Yeah, me too. Just, I'm going to have some combo of New Orleans guys, and it's going to be Dame. And, I'll just have like a small sprinkle of McCollum to hedge against how much Dame I'm gonna have. But Dame is one of my favorite plays on the slate as well. So that's gonna do it. That's the slate. I think this is an amazing first slate, and then we'll be right back at it on Sunday with another great batch of games. Let's do some top threes, and then we will get out of here.
I'll do my top threes for FanDuel.
Yeah, and I'll do them for DK. Give me the point guard.
It's Damian Lillard. Then it's Kyle Lowry because he's too cheap. And I don't want to say every single freaking expensive dude. So I love Wall. I'll just say that. I'll just put that out there. I do love him. But I would say Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, 6'1".
Yeah.
He's 6'1" over. Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah.
On DraftKings, I will take Dame Lillard at 9.2 as well. I will take Tony Parker at 3.3. And John Wall at 8,500. Those are my top three.
Shooting guard, Dwayne Wade, best player on the slate on FanDuel. Love him. Then it's Danny Green. It's just too cheap. I think he's going to play big minutes. And then the third one, there's a lot of dudes to choose from. I will say DeRozan.
Yeah. Would you play Lowry and DeRozan together?
I would, but I wouldn't do it without John Wall.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
exactly. I would because I think they're both too cheap.
Yeah. And then you just run one Wizard guard back with them, not both. For me, at shooting guard, it's going to be Klay Thompson at 6'2". Obviously, I forgot Dwayne Wade, number one play of the slate. Dwayne Wade, Klay Thompson, and give me really don't want to say, but I will. I'll say Brad Beal at 7K. Small forwards.
I will say small forward is not pretty for FanDuel purposes. Not pretty at all. I'm going to have to say Evan Turner, number one, because he's min-price. He's going to play a lot of minutes. Oh, my God, this is bad.
Yeah, it's by far the ugliest on FanDuel, and I get, bailed out because of the multi-position eligibility.
Oh, man. Then I will say Oubre and CJ Miles. Just punt. I'm going to punt.
I like that, yeah. And, in my opinion, Durant is the biggest fade on this slate for me. He's my least favorite player on the entire slate. So,
what about if Otto Porter plays, do you like him at 5'9" with John Wall back? Because I do too.
I mean, he had some good games with Wall at the very end.
He might be the best small forward on FanDuel looking at it. Because I think he's too cheap. But yeah, I think I just might play.
If he's going to play, I like him too. On DraftKings, I mean, this is just so much easier. It's not even fair. Al-Farouq Aminu at 4.9. I'll take I do like CJ Miles, but I'll leave that one. You already said it. I'll go JJ Redick at 5'3". Why he's small forward eligible is beyond me. And I will go Ben Simmons, 9,400. Power forward. Deep position.
Amir Johnson.
Yep.
like Amir Johnson.
Yeah.
Al-Farouq Aminu, like, you're not going to just punt everywhere, but those are, I think, the two best
Yeah.
probably point per dollar plays there. And then I will say, I want to say AD, but I'm not. I'll say Draymond Green because it's just 5,500 less dollars.
Yep. No, I agree. The only guy you didn't mention that I will mention is Sark at 5.7 on FanDuel. I really like that over there. But for me on DraftKings, I'll go Nectat at 5.4, and I'll go Amir Johnson. I really like that one, and AD at 11.3. I mean that's a good price tag over there. And last but not least, give me the centers.
I'm going to say Hassan Whiteside, 7K. Then I'm going to say Nurkic at 8K. I don't love that price, but with so many cheap options, I'm going to have money to spend. So I will say Nurkic. And then for my last center, I'll say Rashawn Holmes.
Sean Holmes.
But I do like Pau Gasol at 5K. If Pau Gasol is going to start, and we'll know that before lock, that's good.
So give me Nurkic, best play, second best play on the slate on DraftKings. Give me Joval at 5.5, and give me Podol at 3,800 over here.
That's way too cheap, man.
Way too cheap. Let me see if we got any ownership projections up. I doubt it, but it's possible. They don't even have like the ownership projection tab up anymore. So I guess that. Who do you think are going to be like the highest owned players? Like, what do you think's chalk on this slate? Talk to me from a FanDuel point of view.
Wow, that's a very good question. I'm never good at this because I know what I think. What I want is chalk. I think Damian Lillard will be. Yeah, I think Damian Lillard is going to be fairly chalky. I think that what's his face? Kyle Lowry is going to be chalky at that price. Dwayne Wade should be uber chalk. Like, he should be so popular, but maybe they don't look at it like we do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what
Evan Turner.
Turner,
I think is going to be chalk because
the position.
I don't think he's going to be chalk with an ugly position on FanDuel, and he's min price. He's going to play probably 30 minutes, somewhere close to that. I think he should be chalk. What else?
What do you think Durant's ownership's going to be?
Oh, you think what?
Durant, what do you think his ownership will be? Like, that position's real weak. Like, I think he might be pretty popular.
It is. And it's the first game?
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I hope it is chalk.
I know. And I mean, I don't think he's going to, like, dud by any means. I just think that, at, what is he, 10-9 and 10-7? Like,
yeah, at this price, he has to get 55. He has to get 50. And he can. He
can. He definitely can. Definitely can, but he's going to have, like, this is one of the worst matchups for him. Kyle Anderson's long and athletic. He's not going to be killing the rebounds. Like, I don't know. I don't see it. But,
Draymond Green be chalky too at 7K, first game of the day.
Yeah, he'll probably get some ownership.
Fairly popular.
But that's a deep position on FanDuel. Like, what do you think AD's ownership will be?
I don't think on FanDuel. I don't think too high. He
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
yeah,
Sharp players are not going to load up on AD.
nah.
He shouldn't be that high. Like, I don't think he will be over 20.
Yeah,
I don't think he
I'd
could be
say
over
probably
20.
about 4 game slate. And then last on
It is a
FanDuel
4 game slate, yeah.
at center, who's going to be the highest on center on FanDuel?
Whiteside.
Whiteside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's like sharp players are going to see a lot of upside, and then the average player just knows him as like a dominant starting center that's usually 8-9K, and now he's 7. So I think it'll be Whiteside too. I think Nurkic is interesting on FanDuel because he's so much more expensive. Like people are just like, I'll just play him on DraftKings, but even at 8K, like if he does get that 35 to 36 minutes, which he would never really got over 30 in the regular season, like he could go for 50 or 60. Especially
I think he is. I think when I first I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get there 8K, but with the money I'm gonna have to spend, I think he's gonna be on my main team.
Yeah.
Just to get off that chalk of Whiteside that is volatile.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I love him.
I think he'll have more raw points than Whiteside, and like when it comes to point per dollar, I think it'll be pretty close. All right, that's gonna do it. What are you gonna?
I'm gonna have so much exposure to that last game.
Yeah, no. Me too.
I'm gonna have a lot of exposure though.
My money's gonna be looking real bleak most of the day, and then hopefully by around 1:00 in the morning, things will be glorious. And we'll probably be doing another one of these shows, getting ready for the Sunday slate. Well, with that said, we're going to get out of here. NBA playoffs are back, baby. I'm pumped. Cash is pumped. The whole Wise Take Nation is pumped. We're going to be making money. Cheat sheets are already up. We will have a Wise stream tomorrow around 1:30. Let's get this money, y'all. For Cash and DFS, for myself, for the entire Wise Take Nation, good night. Peace.
Yeah.